All right, everyone. Now, I know it's been a few days, and I don't even think I have anything really worth saying that could add to the conversation. What could I say that hasn't already been said about Cicely Tyson? I mean, I feel like if there's anything I can say that, could contribute to the conversation is just my own personal, remembering the legend herself. And obviously, I was born in 91, so that was the same year that Fried Green Tomatoes came out. I did a little research. I got IMDb and Wikipedia pulled up on my computer to kind of look at the rich history of Miss Tyson's resume in acting. And, one of the most inspirational things I've been seeing is the fact that, she was in her, if I'm not mistaken, almost in her 50s. When she got her first big break. So it's not like one of those things where she instantly found fame when she began. It's one of those things where it wasn't until later in life when she was able to, strike it, somewhat big and then get bigger over time. But I remember, in terms of, from what I can just flat out like, oh my gosh, I remember as a kid, back during the days of, I don't even know if this is still a thing anymore, Cinemax, Stars, HBO. I'm talking before we had the sizable cable packages of a Dish Network or, Direct TV or anything like that. I remember watching those old movies that came out in like the 70s and 80s. The first time I remember seeing Cicely on screen, 1981's Bustin' Loose. That's a Richard Pryor film, and ironically enough, her name in the movie was Vivian, last name Perry. That's right, because fast forward 2005, 2006, Tyler Perry big films, Medea Family Reunion and Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That was pretty much I believe her name was Myrtle, Myrtle. I believe that's Myrtle. I feel like Tyler Perry kind of I've been listening, some podcasts and whatnot over the past few days, and some people brought up, Tyler Perry in a way, you really got to hand it to him because he kind of rejuvenated her career in modern age. So a lot of people who were younger were familiar with who she was because, again, she's been in a lot of TV and movies, but I feel like specifically the Medea films are what really elevated her to household name. And I think it goes about saying that, I believe, is it Emily, who played her daughter? Helen from Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Let me get the name. I want to make sure I get it right. Kimberly Elise. I've been seeing some pictures. It's like if there was ever like a biopic or something along those lines, Kimberly should play like a younger Cicely, or they use makeup, make her older, because you could not have told me that was not her real life daughter the first time I watched Diary of a Mad Black Woman. If not daughter, then grandmother or something. It's just like, holy crap. I could not believe it. But regardless, it's sad that she's not here because I remember growing up as a kid, I heard her name, and as a kid, the reason I remembered her name, Tyson, I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but as a kid, Tyson chicken nuggets. I mean, it's like anytime I remember seeing like just, interviews, news reports, like, oh yes, the chicken Tyson lady. And, as I got older, you just look into pillars in the black community, in the world of entertainment, and she was obviously one of those individuals. And it's just something where it's sad that she's no longer here, because to me personally, it really felt like she was kind of, I know it's a corny comparison, but how people root for Betty White, age, you're at 99, make it to 100. I felt like in a way, Cicely was kind of like she was to black people what Betty White was to white people. But to be fair, I feel like Betty White is universally loved. So it's almost like, Cicely was like the black Betty White, in the fact that she was like the champion of black people to make it to triple digits. And more importantly than that, both her and Betty respectively have been doing what they love for so long, and even though they've reached an age that people aspire to reach, they continue to work, as opposed to just, I mean, to be fair, at the ages that, they, even when Betty was, let's just say when they were both 90, just put it in perspective, if they didn't do one bit of acting again in their lives, they've done more than enough. But that just goes to show you that regardless of the age, if there's something you love to do, then just do it. So it's sad that she wasn't able to reach that milestone of 100, but at the same time, you got to look at her resume and everything she's accomplished. It's one of those situations where the legacy is so incredible because of the fact that she got a sound stage dedicated to her at the Tyler Perry Studio Gala. It's phenomenal, and I'm glad she was there to see it, because if I'm not mistaken, who was it that was it Diane Carroll, if I'm not mistaken? Unfortunately, she passed either the morning of or the day before she was supposed to have a stage dedicated to her. So I'm glad that Cicely was here to see that. Not to mention, I remember a couple of days prior to her passing, some people on Instagram, celebrities were posting stories and posts about her memoir that came out. I'm like, oh, that's great. Came out for, a memoir. So it's sad, but I'm glad she was here not only to accomplish so much in her life, but she inspired so many people. She has such an enormous body of work that obviously will outlast, will go on for future generations. And on top of that, she was here while her memoir was put together and released. So obviously it's in her own words. So that's just beautiful. And around it all, just the tributes I've been seeing over the past several days have been amazing. But it goes about saying that, and it's not a competition, but in terms of like which ones definitely pulled at the heartstrings the most, hands down Tyler Perry, from his captions on posts to like the 60-second video he did kind of tribute to Cicely. It's like he said in one of his posts, it's like she was the grandmother he never had. That's the best way to put it. And I just respect him more and more for that. So, this is just amazing. I mean, one can only hope not only to reach that age, 96, but to also just live by doing what you love to do. I think I was seeing these, clips go, kind of viral about, being 90 and still doing push-ups and whatnot. And I feel bad for I cannot even say I do that, but it's just amazing to see that if you do what you love, stay healthy, stay diligent, you'll live a life that's not just long, but meaningful. And that's the thing that really gets me. It's just the fact that to have these people who do things that will outlast them, is whether it be a actor, musician, producer, what have you, just to leave such an impact is great. Like, again, it's sad that she's gone, but it's hard to be sad because 96, and she had so much that she accomplished. And on top of that, even though at 96, who knows how much she still was planning to do. Phenomenal. So yes, rest in peace, Miss Tyson. Your legacy will be remembered. I mean, like I said, I don't know what else to add to the conversation. This woman was amazing. And I think the last time, well, yeah, Fall from Grace came out, but I think the last time I remember watching her on screen where I really loved the performance was season 1 of Cherish the Day. Dang, what a journey. All right, guys, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. What were some of your favorite Cicely Tyson moments? Movies, maybe an interview, a quote, what have you. Let's have a good time to remember her. There's probably going to be some sort of memorial or something, and I'm sure Tyler Perry and other celebrities will, add their thoughts and memories to the celebration of the homegoing. But yeah, this was something I had to say after a few days, but I'm glad I finally got around to making this video. But thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.